Welcome into our Tuesday live show. We appreciate you joining us. And as always, our first question we ask on these Tuesday live shows, with it being game week, who you got? Type KC if you have the Chiefs. If for some reason you have the Denver Broncos, who are arguably the worst team in the entire National Football League, well then type DEN. I want to see the chat littered with KCs. No donkeys. Type those KCs. We got Tony Fuentes in the chat. We got Gabriel Gonzalez, Terrence, Carl Bailey, DJ, KC DJ, Lennon Ackerman, Jace Mahomes, the PFP. What PFP? What are you talking about, huh? Junie Gibson's in the chat. Sean Tavares, Craig, Monk, David. What's going on, everybody? Happy you chose to join your Tuesday afternoon with me. And, well, it's not just me here today. Luckily, we have the best producer in the entirety of Chat Sports, although sometimes he likes to leave us. Welcome in, Producer Sam.
It's a good day. Another good day here on the Chiefs Report. A busy day, a lot going on. Jam-packed show for you. News, rumors, Justyn Ross update. Nick Bolton replacements, trade proposals. We got a jam-packed show. I wore my OU shirt today just for Jace. I wanted to point that out to the crowd.
What's going to happen, though, when Oklahoma State beats Oklahoma in the final bedlam ever? Like what's going to happen?
In a different dimension?
No. In 2 weeks when it happens in real life. And you're going to sit there and be crying on your couch.
This is a lot. Wow.
I
did not expect you to come with such confidence
I'm coming.
in this team.
Well, here's the thing. I don't. But I'm going to show it.
Hey, little brother always likes to talk, doesn't he?
Yeah. Whatever you say. We appreciate all you joining us today. Keep getting those KCs in the chat. And while you're at it, why not shout out your city? Tell me where you're watching today's Chiefs Report live show from. I want to know what's going on, how you doing, where are you from, what's going on with everybody watching today's show. We got Lennon. My YouTube PFP is your face on Patrick Mahomes. Let's go OU as well. No. Let's not go OU. Let's not.
Good call.
Bad call. JJ from Hillsboro, Oregon. What's up, JJ? Sean Tavares from Pensacola. Tony, go Horned Frogs, baby. Yeah, they suck this year. Shannon Walker, Florida. Call though, I will. Max Duggan was amazing. I will give you that, but they're bad this year. Sheldon Walker, Florida. Jimmy Smith from Pueblo, Colorado. Tony from Dallas. DJ KC DJ from Kansas City, Kansas. Lennon from Edmond, Oklahoma. Well, that explains the OU tie. Junie from Louisiana, down in the Bayou. Paul Hannon, Paul from Columbus, Ohio. Madera, California. Madera. Gabriel, let me know if I'm saying that right. JJ, let's go Oregon Ducks. Crystal Andrews from Canada. What part of Canada, Crystal? Also, nice last name. Craig Gilly from Quincy, Illinois. Carl, born and raised in KC, living in Seattle. Personally, a USC fan, but love OU. Is that legal, Sam? I don't know if that's legal.
That's a tricky one, bud. Lennon, I don't know what to tell you, man.
That seems a little tricky to navigate on that one. You know what's not tricky to navigate, though? That's our sponsor today, Prize Fixes. We appreciate them coming on, sponsoring today's show. And I'll tell you what, it's the easiest and most exciting way to play DFS. And the best part about it, you're going to get a free first deposit match of up to $100 if you go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS. I've been playing Prize Picks a lot recently, and I really do not know why I waited this long to start. It's the simplest app ever. All I got to do, go in, pick 2 or more players, then pick more or less on their Prize Picks projected stats. Plus, then you can choose if you want to flex them, if you want to power play them, which if you do power play, you can win up to 25 times your entry amount. It's super easy to do. You can make your picks in less than 60 seconds. And, well, here's all I'm going to say. I'm putting some entries in for this upcoming Thursday night football matchup between the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and the Buffalo Bills. And my motto, as always, if you ain't going more, you ain't living right. Baker Mayfield, 230.5. I think he'll go more. He's been right around that mark all season long, and although he's a Sooner, I think he'll prevail in this one. Rashad White has been really, really tough this year. Really bad, to be quite honest with you. But this Buffalo defense, and especially their defensive line, well, it hasn't been as advertised. So I think he's going to get more than 48.5. And then Stephon Diggs getting a touchdown. Yeah, that's definitely a lock there. I'm going with the more on the touchdown, including it doesn't have to be just receiving. It could be passing. It could be dang rushing. He'll score one throughout the entirety of the night. If you want to go put in your Prize Picks projections, you want to go put some entries in, well, then go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. That's a free $100. You put in 100, you're getting 200 right off the bat. Go in there, use it. Shout out to Prize Picks. It's daily fantasy sports made easy. Okay, let's kind of go into this whole Nick Bolton situation. Now that he is injured, Frank Clark listed as a linebacker, more of an edge rusher, but should the Chiefs sign him? It's kind of odd. You thought, okay, he's going to be signed on Friday. He didn't get signed. Oh, well, he'll be signed on Saturday. He didn't get signed. Then game day happened, and people have kind of just forgot about it. So I want you to know at this point, should the Chiefs sign him? Type Y for yes, type N for no. You already have the Mecole Hardman trade. There's a lot of roster moves that will have to be made here in the upcoming week. You have the trade deadline coming up. You've got a lot of things happening over the next couple of days. Tony Fuentes says why. Casey says no. Paul says yes. Both Paul. And then we got JJ Hackett saying yes. Sean, don't need him. I'm kind of right there with you. Zayden saying no. Gabriel saying yes. We got Carl saying yes. Anthony Boyd saying yes. Monk saying yes. Lennon says, I follow Williams and Judge. Also, Bills are going to take a huge L. And yes, we want Frank the Shark. That'd be awesome. Chiefs for LV. What's the context behind your username? Chiefs for LV? What are you like? Las Vegas, there's no way it's that, right? Why for yes. More depth, great defense, can rotate and stay fresh. I kind of agree. And Jeanette White, I hope I'm saying that right. I was hoping they would sign him. Yes. Gabe says yes. Jeff Hefe, let me know if I'm saying that right. I don't want to be incorrect there. He says MIZ, Missouri. Carl Bailey, playoffs are around the corner. Playoffs are not around the corner, bud. We are, what, a third of the way, a little over a third of the season? We got some time. But I'll tell you what, playoffs are in the future cards for the Chiefs. I'll tell you that. Ronald Williams says no. We got a question in from Tony Fuentes. He'd already started it. Ethan saying hi. What's up, Ethan? We appreciate everybody. Okay, thank you, Anjanette. I appreciate you. Well, I'll tell you what, we got almost 80 people in this live stream, yet for some reason, we only have 14 likes. What's going on here? If you're watching the live stream right now, do me a favor. Scroll down if you're on computer and hit that little like button. If you're on your TV, well, push the up button. The like button will be on that little bar. Hit the like button. If you're on your phone, well, if you're watching sideways, twist it up, hit the like button, twist it right back. You can put us on full screen. It's super easy. It's free. It helps us out. And if you want to beat the Broncos this week, we need every single person in the chat to like the video, because I'm telling you what, if you don't like the video and the Broncos win this weekend, I'm coming for you. It's your fault. You have to like the video if you want the Chiefs to beat the Broncos. In fact, I've heard it's the only way that you can let the Chiefs win this Sunday. So hit that like button. It's free. It's easy. And we're trying to roll here with over 80 people on the stream. I want to see that like flooding in. Let's go to some more questions here as we get set for our segments coming up. And these are all kind of, well, teasers, I like to call them. So here's another teaser for you. Do you want the Chiefs to trade for Mike Evans? I want you to type T for trade, type P for pass. Mike Evans is a guy we talked about earlier in the year as a potential trade candidate. Then the Buccaneers decided, we're going to be good. And then guess what? The Buccaneers now suck again. We suck again. That's what OU says every year. Type T for trade or type P for pass. Let me know what you... I can see Sam's look, and he agrees with me. Curran Slayer saying T for trade. JJ Hackett saying P for pass. We got Ethan with T for trade. Paul saying T for trade. Ramen Noodle. Awesome name, by the way. Ramen Noodle. I love it. 2 O's, too, or zeros. I think we should hold off till next year and go all in on Justin Jefferson. We can't pay him, unfortunately. He's going to want too much money. We've already paid the lot to Patrick. Tony Fuentes, T for trade. DJ Casey, DJ typing T for trade. Carl Bailey, P, unless for the low. I see. Chiefs for LV, T for sure. Big time player. Yeah, I think it's a pretty obvious thing you want to T for trim. Casey Courtney, P, if we have to pay his old contract. T, if we can get him on a different contract. He's good, but he's also 31. I agree. If there's a way you can kind of get around that, then why not? Current Sailor, trade for Gabe Davis. Problem is the Bills really like him. He's cheap, and he's a good player. Lennon, I see you. Lennon Jace Ackerman. He is. Gabe, well, you could trade for, well, that's okay. I was like, they're not going to trade him this year. I see what you're saying. You could sign Gabe Davis in the offseason. That would be nice. Main wide receiver I would want for them to try is T. Higgins. Yeah, that would be nice. All right, well, why don't we start and kind of get things rolling here, as I want you to get in and use hashtag Chiefs to potentially get in on this contract situation, as here's the thing. We want you on today's show. We want you to be a part of this show. You can use it by using hashtag Chiefs, or you can skip the line with a super chat to get on today's show, as guess what? Super chat with producer Sam. He's going to get you on the screen as long as I stop talking in less than 60 seconds. So technically it's on me. But you can also just get in using hashtag Chiefs. So start getting those questions and we'll answer them here at the later part of the show. Hopefully we can get a bunch of questions in here. But yeah, if you want to get on the show, use hashtag Chiefs, as who knows, potentially could be on today's show. We appreciate anybody. And as always, if you decide to super chat, we're going to do some lemon juice shots for you. So any super chat today, we're doing lemon juice shots, and you're guaranteed to be on today's show. We would appreciate any donation you have, but as always, hashtag Chiefs, you can also get on for free. Here's what we're going in with today, as we've got a couple of segments with the latest on Justyn Ross. We're going to talk about Nick Bolton's replacements, along with Chiefs trade proposals, and along with that hashtag Chiefs super chat, we have that mailbag coming up at the very end of the show. You can start getting your questions in now, and we can pop you on the screen later. But that's what's in line for today. Again, as always, we appreciate you watching. And, well, I think if we're about ready here, we can start getting going. So without further ado, let's go into the first segment here talking about Justyn Ross, the latest on him, along with Nick Bolton replacements. Chiefs Kingdom, we appreciate you watching today's Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. Here's what we got on tap for you today, as we're going to give you the latest update on Justyn Ross, along with now Nick Bolton being injured. Well, is it time to look at a replacement option for him, or do you think the Chiefs can solve that internally? We're talking about all that and more on today's show. Let's get it rolling. My name is Jace Andrews. You're watching the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports, and as mentioned, Justyn Ross is the first topic we are going to hit on today's show, as he was arrested yesterday. As if you missed it, we had a short, but I know everybody doesn't see those. It was reportedly a felony charge at the beginning, but today we got some more info on the Chiefs wide receiver and kind of diving into what exactly happened yesterday and what this means for the future of Ross and the Chiefs. Here's what we got on today with the first update coming this morning. The Johnson County website, as more than official than jailbooking sheet, is showing a charge as criminal damage, which is a misdemeanor, not a felony. They've also added a misdemeanor domestic battery charge, though. So that was the first update we got, as it was then changed from a felony to a misdemeanor. We got this very, very recently, saying that Justyn Ross appeared via Zoom in court this afternoon, as he is scheduled to be released today on $2,500 bond. His next court appearance will be December 4th, so a little over a month away. Now, the Kansas City Star kind of got us some more information on this, and, well, here's the important parts of it. The criminal complaint states the alleged victim, who the Star is not identifying, is someone whom Ross is or has been in a dating relationship. On radio traffic captured on Broadcastify.com, a police dispatcher stated that the alleged victim told police that Ross was dragging her through the house and has torn up the house. This continued on to say the alleged victim suffered minor injuries, according to a Shawnee Police Department offense report. No specific injuries were included. No weapons were involved in the incident per the offense report. The dispatch said that the alleged victim stated that Ross had a gun in the house, but it was not with him at the time. No drugs or alcohol were involved in the incident, the offense report stated. So, this is the big thing here. It's looking like it wasn't just this that may keep Ross off the field. It seems as though this is actually kind of relating back to some football issues. We also got this today coming out basically saying that Albert Breer released this saying that what I've heard is there are also football issues. He's been inconsistent in practice, and while he's big, he's not very fast and struggles running some routes. That makes him a tough fit as an offense where receivers are moved around consistently and asked to be versatile in what they bring to the table. Here's the thing. He's only had 81 snaps this year, and, well, it's not looking too good for his future with the Chiefs. We don't want to speculate on what's going to happen, but ultimately, when you're a guy vying for a spot on a roster and you get yourself into this type of trouble, well, then guess what? It can't be good for the long-term effect of your career. We don't want to speculate, but, man, it stinks because he has a lot of talent, but seems like it wasn't just the issues off the field we found out yesterday. Maybe some in practice as well. Let's transition topics here as we go into the Bolton injury as we found out yesterday, Nick Bolton will be out for 2 months. So today, given that's 8 games worth of time, we're going to look at some potential replacements for that time being and potentially talk about maybe is it trading one? Is it already with the Chiefs? We're going to talk about that today because honestly, the fix may already be on there. That's the first topic that I want to hit. But before we get there, I'm going to tell you what. The Chiefs are on the road this week against the Denver Broncos in Mile High Stadium, and I want you to do something for me. The Chiefs are on a 9-game road win streak. Let's get 900 likes on today's video for KC's 9-game win streak on the road. Hit that like button. It's free. It's easy. If you're watching this video right now, go sit down there, press that like button. It's super simple, takes 2 seconds, and I know Chiefs Kingdom has got me because 900 is a lot, but I'm putting my faith in Chiefs Kingdom. You got me. Hit that like button. I really appreciate it. Let's go into the linebacker depth chart here as Willie Gay Jr. as outside along with Leo Chenal, and then Drue Tranquill, who will replace Nick Bolton as the middle linebacker. Not the first time Drue Tranquill has had to replace Bolton. Bolton missed 3 games earlier this year, but he was really effective against his former team this past Sunday when they faced the Chargers. It was somewhat of a revenge game for Tranquill versus the Chargers. He had 2 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 1 sack, and 1 pass breakup. And again, that was not the first time he had come in and suited up in replacement of Nick Bolton. He's been a guy who has been around the system a lot because of the Bolton injury he suffered earlier. In fact, on the season, he's got 2.5 sacks, a forced fumble, a couple tackles for loss, and just under 40 tackles. A lot of that because when he came in for Nick Bolton, it wasn't just, oh, we like him. It was, we want him on the field a lot. When Bolton came back, the Chiefs' defense was actually struggling as Coach Spag was trying to put in both Bolton and Tranquill at the same time. That's how much they believe in Drue Tranquill. And I'm telling you what, if you believe in Drue Tranquill, if you think there's no reason to go out and trade for somebody, Drue Tranquill has got us covered while Bolton was out, well then do me a favor and type DT because I'm telling you what, I believe in Tranquill, and if you do too, type DT. I love Tranquill. I love him. I think he's really an untapped talent. He came into this Chiefs defense not really expected to play, but guess what? He came in and has performed insanely well. The thing that I don't like is it spreads your defense in linebackers very, very thin and kind of has to move some people around. You have to pull Willie Gay back sometimes. Leo Chenal is going to have to play more of an official linebacker position. How exactly does this move the defense around? Well, I think that's why I want to look at trades because although I love Tranquill, I think trading could be good just for depth. For a reasoning of you could move people around, you could have somebody to edge rush maybe a little better than Drue Tranquill can, give Willie Gay a couple of breaks. As really, it was Tranquill coming in for Willie Gay. He was more signed to be an all-star linebacker playing wherever he was needed to. Well, now you don't have that guy because he's going to have to start at middle linebacker. So We're going to take a look at a couple of trade candidates for the Chiefs that they can look at. But before we do that, I'm going to tell you what you can do right now. You can go to Prize Picks and get a $100 deposit match on your first deposit. If you go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS, it's the easiest and most exciting way to play daily fantasy sports. And I got to be honest with you, it's the only way I play DFS. Players can choose from a vast selections of sports and stat types not offered anywhere else. They can even pick in-game projections after a game has started, which include halves, quarters, periods, and more. And Prize Picks is the largest independently owned daily fantasy sports platform in North America, and it's the easiest way to play daily fantasy sports. It's super simple. You pick 2 or more players. You can go 2 to 6, actually. Then you pick more or less on their Prize Picks projections, and then you can choose flex or power play. Flex, you don't have to get all of them right, but if you choose power play, you can win up to 25 times your money. Now, here's the thing. I can always say, oh, this is what you do, but I'm going to put my money where my mouth is because I love Prize Picks, and I'm telling you, you should too. I'm going to go more across the board here for Thursday Night Football coming up in just a couple of nights. Baker Mayfield, 230.5. Listen, Bills defense has been a bit sketchy for what they were intended to be this year. I'm going more with 230. I think he can get over that. Probably not by much, but he'll get over that. Rashad White, I'm saying he's going to get more than 48.5 yards on the ground. And Stephon Diggs, he's going to score a touchdown. And guess what? With Prize Picks, it doesn't even have to be just receiving. It could be passing. It could be rushing. He could score the ball in any way possible. And guess what? That entry will hit. I'm going with the power play too because, listen, I'm trying to win 5 times my money. I can put those in. It's going to be super simple. And if you want to fade me, you think that's not going to happen, well, then go do it right now because you can go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and then use code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. It's free money. You're literally losing out if you don't go do it. So go to prizepicks.com/CLNS right now. Shout out to Prize Picks. It's daily fantasy sports made easy. Let's go into these linebackers that I potentially could see the Chiefs trading for. Let's start with Brian Burns from the Panthers. And you see that edge. Yeah, I know. He's not technically a linebacker. He's an outside linebacker, edge rusher. But here's the thing. Tranquill, like I mentioned, will fill that middle linebacker role, and Burns can thrive on the outside. He can be moved around and kind of basically labeled as Tranquill was supposed to be. Tranquill was supposed to be used as a guy that can play outside, that can play edge, that can be anywhere. That's why he has 2.5 sacks. He has been a guy who knows how to rush the quarterback. With Brian Burns, now you get that extra added onto it, and it allows Tranquill to focus more on being that Nick Bolton type player where he can kind of drop back and be almost a spy, and that's the way Nick Bolton had liked to play it. Well, here's the thing. You could do that if you get Brian Burns and just leave Tranquill there. Now here's the bigger thing. Would the Chiefs actually pay him after? I don't necessarily think so because, to me, this is one where it is a fix now situation. It's not worried about the future. You're missing Nick Bolton for 2 months. It's about 7-8 games. You don't need to worry about paying someone next season. It's just about figuring out what you can do with it right now. Let's go to our second option, which is a little more pricey. Danielle Hunter from the Vikings, another edge rusher who has been absolutely unstoppable this season. 34 tackles, 9 sacks, 2 pass breakups, and a forced fumble. Yeah, he would be pretty pricey, but golly, he would make this defense more than elite. In fact, he may make it one of the best defenses in the NFL in the past 5-10 years. It would be absolutely incredible to see. I think this one is a little less likely, but overall, I like what I've seen from Danielle Hunter. Again, I know he's an edge, but we're trying to figure out how can we let Drue Tranquill just stick in that middle linebacker role and figure out the edge along with the outside linebackers with these traits. The third one may be the one that makes the most sense in terms of filling Nick Bolton's role, and that is Devin White, the linebacker in Tampa Bay. Now, obviously, like I mentioned, this is the closest comparison linebacker to Nick Bolton on the list, but here's the thing. His stats this year, well, they're not been great. Now, I think that's partially due to the Tampa Bay defense, but 38 tackles, 1 tackle for loss, 2 pass breakups, 1 interception. It's not bad. The bigger thing, though, is he fills a role. He fills that Nick Bolton slot where you can kind of have Tranquill and say, hey, we know that you aren't going to have all this on your shoulders. We're going to have Devin White. Plus, then if you get Nick Bolton back, well, you're going to have 3 linebackers that can play middle linebacker. You're going to be in a great spot depth-wise for the postseason. I want you to pick a trade between one of these 3. Let me know if there's someone on this list you want to trade for and who it would be. If you think it's Brian Burns, then type BB. If you think it's Danielle Hunter, then type DH. If you think it's Devin White, then type DW. I want you to get in the comment section and let me know, because it's an interesting thing to talk about. Let me know who you think. Danielle Hunter is probably my favorite, but again, I think it's unlikely just because he's been absolutely incredible. And this would have made sense literally 24 hours ago. But then the Vikings beat the 49ers, and all of a sudden their season is back. Now it's going to be a little bit harder to get that guy off the hands of the Vikings. They're going to think that they're a good team now. They're going to think that they can make the playoffs, and Danielle Hunter has been a big key to that one. But here's the thing. Danielle is one option that is an edge rusher that is something that you don't necessarily need. But he does compare someone that we have maybe forgotten about. What about Frank Clark? He was reportedly going to sign with the Chiefs this past weekend. Well, I don't know about you, but yeah, it's Tuesday. What happened? This was literally a tweet that came out last week. Former Chiefs defensive lineman Frank Clark will be getting a physical done tomorrow at the Chiefs team facility, which then prompted this tweet from Frank Clark. Link up on Red Friday. I land on Thursday. What happened? He was supposed to sign. There was no report of like a busted physical. I'm just kind of confused. You would think the Chiefs would want to sign him. He's pretty cheap, and his stats with the Chiefs, pretty dang good. Now, again, where he made his money's worth was in the playoffs. But if you're trying to get this team to a Super Bowl, well, why not bring back the Shark? Makes no sense why this didn't happen. I'm just kind of a little confused behind this entirety of the topic. It's just wild. Now with Nick Bolton, though, I think this question looms larger than ever. Should the Chiefs sign Frank Clark? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I want you to get in the comment section and let me know, because it looms larger than ever just for the simple fact that you don't have Nick Bolton. And Frank Clark is listed as a linebacker. Now, I know, again, he's kind of that edge guy like Danielle Hunter, like Brian Burns, but like I said, if you want Drue Tranquill to play that middle linebacker role, you want some depth to fill out the outside spots, fill up the edges. Well, Frank Clark could be that, and he's a cheap and easy thing. Let me know if you think the Chiefs should sign the Shark. Type Y for yes, type N for no. We appreciate you watching today's show, as we're trying to bring you informative and entertaining content every single day. Make sure you're subscribed, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. Hit that little red subscribe button. That way you always are in the loop on Kansas City Chiefs content. Peace out. Carl Bailey with a $5 super chat.
Let's go, Carl. Everybody spam Carl.
Spam Carl. Spam Carl. Let's go, Carl. Legend. You want to go grab that lemon juice? I kind of forgot about that.
I will, yeah.
I can start giving some shout outs. That's wild.
Carl, this will
be the first one.
This will be the first one of the mailbag. You can hit it right now if you want to, but
this
will be the first question up.
Nope. Carl, we'll put you on the show here, as we'll have you on the mailbag, but we'll answer it right now too. Trade Rashid Shaheed and Taysom Hill. Give up a third-round pick, also CEH and Noah Gay. Chiefs! I like it. Did I not say Noah Gray? Ah, shoot. Noah Gray. My bad, Carl. We'll make sure to get it right the next time. But I kind of like it. Rashid Shaheed, though, and Taysom Hill. You don't need Taysom. I don't know where Taysom kind of fits into that. Rashid Shaheed has been incredible this year. I think they would take that third with CEH and Noah Gray. Yeah, I like that trade. I think it could work. Appreciate it, man. I appreciate it. Again, you're going to be the first question on the mailbag show. We appreciate you. But I like the trade. Rashid Shaheed, overall, been pretty good. I don't think you need Taysom Hill, though. I don't think that's worth it, just for the simple fact of this, that you have Patrick Mahomes. I know that, I'm going to get flamed. He can run as good as Taysom Hill. I think Taysom's body type is a little bigger, but so is Patrick Mahomes. So.
What about him as you just keep him as a tight end, and you just maximize him as a tight end?
That's true, but has he ever really done anything as a tight end, though? Because it's always been Jawan Johnson as their main tight end. Or if you go back, you had Oh, who's the tight end that's went to the Seahawks?
Not Jimmy Graham.
Yeah, Jimmy Graham. That was an older one.
His career high last year in rushing with 95 runs for 575 yards. Receiving, his career high was back in 2019, 19 catches for 234. But he's got 15 for 115 so far through 7 games. So he's on pace to set a new career high in receiving at least. But, I think as a backup tight end, you could go worse, but it almost – I don't want to say it's a nothing trade because I think Taysom Hill's got a lot of flair and Rashid Shaheed's a good returner. Is it worth giving up a 3rd-round pick when you're probably going to be dealing seconds and potentially firsts down the line to get even bigger players?
Correct. It makes no sense. JJ Hackett with a $2 super chat. JJ, my guy, you're a legend.
Does that mean we both have to do lemon juice shots now? Okay, that sounds fair.
That sounds fair. No, I think because you're an OU fan, you do both. JJ, sign Frank Clark so he can get revenge. That's true. If you sign him, he'll play the Broncos. Problem is, if you sign him after this week, he ain't going to play the Broncos because they ain't making the playoffs. So, yeah. JJ, you'll be our second question on today's mailbag. We appreciate JJ along with Carl Bailey. But I kind of like that question. Let's kind of open up the discussion here. Should the Chiefs shine Frank Clark? Type S, type Y for type. Damn it. Type Y for yes. Type N for no. Sam was messing me up. Blame Sam. Paul saying Y for yes. Ramen Noodle typing Y for yes. Carl Bailey saying Y for yes. Kevin Sims, yes. 4K33PS. You have the same. Is my computer effing up, or do you have the same profile photo as Kevin Sims? Y for yes. That's kind of wild if you do. JJ says yes. Tony Fuentes says yes. Curran Slater says yes. Let me know. I think it'd be a good option to have. Overall, I think it makes sense. I'm confused as though why. Yes, we do. Are you the same person? Do you know each other? How husband and wife. Okay, I see how it is. Well, I appreciate you watching. I'm glad y'all are both in here. I really appreciate it. That's funny, though. That's funny. Chiefs for LV. I'm hearing Derrick Henry is available. That's crazy. Not only is he available, he's getting shopped by the Titans. Yikes. Not good. Not good. Not good at all. Did you get a shot glass? Got 2. Oh, wow. Whew. Without Derrick Henry, the Titans are irrelevant. Without any. They have Tannehill. They're irrelevant until. Irrelevant. Yeah, you can just say that with. You don't need. You can take out without Derrick Henry, the Titans. No, just say Titans are irrelevant. That's all you need. Curran Sailor, Boomer, Sooner. Golly. Where are you coming from? Okay, we signed Clark. Who are we cutting? We're cutting Sam. Cheers. Cold. I don't know if cold's better or worse. Yeah.
I think cold might be a little worse. It's like lingering a little bit more.
It's like chugging. It's a little easier.
I don't like that.
No. Okay, next time. Oh, shoot. We got to do Worcestershire sauce this upcoming Saturday for Thai Fly. I don't know if he's in here, but Kevin's. No, you're good, Kevin. I wasn't confused. It was just, hey, Lennon Jace Ackerman with a $2 Oh my gosh!
What a profile picture. That's electric.
How did you do that?
Oh, it's just quick and easy. Photoshop has many possibilities.
Chiefs get a backup QB like Caleb Williams. I mean, the way he's played, he's a backup QB. Dude, all of a sudden sucks.
Hey, I agree.
Yeah, we can agree on that. Time is in an immense loop because he had the same picture in Stillwater after the Oklahoma State Bedlam loss as he did this past week in Utah when they lost. It's just a loop. Actually, I have that. I actually have that tweet. Let me go find that real quick.
Shout out Lennon. Quick Photoshop.
Lennon. Yeah.
Did you get that off your Twitter or something?
I think.
Or just now?
That looks like my headshot. Where'd you get my headshot from?
Instagram, maybe?
Maybe. because I took my headshot off of my Twitter.
That's impressive.
I don't know how you got it. I don't know. That's crazy. Hold on, let me go find this.
While we're doing that, spam your DTs. We want to bring this one back up. If you believe in Tranquill, I know some people would like to see a potential move, potential trade to try and replace Nick Bolton, but I think you've got the answer on your roster. I think Jace probably agreed to an extent there with Drue Tranquill. Don't you?
Oh, yeah. Time is a flat circle.
That's a good one.
It's just the same thing. I believe DT. I think overall, I would like the Chiefs to trade just for some. More importantly, all I did was look up Chiefs report Jace Andrews. Interesting. That's crazy. Worked like a charm. Good to know, Lennon. Good to know. Everybody's spamming DT. I think Tranquill's your fill, but I like the actual thought of just kind of having the depth piece there with Burns or potentially Devin White. Don't hate on Williams. I'm not hating on him, but I also went to Oklahoma State, so I am hating on him. Got DTs coming in from Curran Sailor, Kevin Sims. Kevin and your wife, I appreciate both y'all watching. I'm not confused at all. That was just super funny that y'all have the same profile photo. That's kind of cute. Ramen Noodle, 100, 100, 100, 100. Tony Fuentes, DT. We got Anjanette White saying DT. I got Lennon Jason Ackerman. I'm not going to get over that one. All right, well, the second segment here we're about to get to, I actually am going to be calling on y'all in some way. As I put out a community post talking about I want to hear some trade proposals that really I want to hear from you. Well, we got some. We're going to talk about him on today's show here in the second segment. So, without further ado, Sam's ready, or as ready as he can be. We're going to go here into our second segment with trade proposals. Chiefs Kingdom, we appreciate you watching. Today's show, we're going with some trade proposals sent in by you. My name is Jay Sanders, and again, you're watching the Chiefs Report by Chat Sports. I asked you to send in some trade proposals you would like the Chiefs to make. Well, we got some interesting ones, and we are going to talk about them on today's show. The first one comes in from Polo Dios LOL 9000. To Chiefs, Mike Evans. To Buccaneers, round 3 pick and round 4 pick. I like this one. Let's first talk about Mike Evans and what he brings to the squad. So in 2023, just under 500 yards. Average. I'm an average guy. I always will be. Always have been. 15.6 is absolutely incredible. 4 touchdowns, 30 receptions. He looks pretty good. You pair him with Patrick Mahomes. Well, I tell you what, I would love Evans. I think he is a perfect fit for this Chiefs offense. In fact, we talked about Evans after game 1. The problem was, well, the Bucs started winning. Now, the Bucs are back to 500, and it's looking more likely that they may trade him. As if the Bucs keep losing, well, it might work. It might work just for the simple fact of they'll become sellers instead of buyers. They have Thursday Night Football this upcoming, or actually, they already had it. And so, I'm telling you what, they keep losing, it is going to be an absolute crazy, crazy time. If you want the Chiefs to trade for Mike Evans, then type T for trade. Or if you think the Chiefs should pass on this one, then I want you to type P for pass. Let me know in the comments of today's video what you think the Chiefs should do. Duke Stryker coming in saying, call up the Titans. CEH and a 6th round pick for D-Hop. Man, oh man. Good old DeAndre Hopkins. I will say this. The Chiefs don't have a 6th round pick. Neil Farrell was traded in this really technical offseason still. That's what I'm going to call it. He was acquired with the 6th round pick to the Raiders. So what do the Chiefs have in terms of picks in the 2024 draft? Well, here's what they have. They've got 1 in round 1, 1 in round 2, 1 in round 3, 1 in round 4, and 1 in round 5, 6 and 7. Nada. Nothing there as they traded away the 6th, traded away the 7th. Don't have either of those. They've got the first 5 picks to work with for 2024. I also traded away some 2025 ones when the Mecole Hardman trade. So I like the trade idea. I want to keep going with it, but I'm going to kind of finagle it a little bit better. It gets the Titans a little bit of a better deal, which I think for D-Hop is probably worth it. The Chiefs receive DeAndre Hopkins, and the Titans get Clyde Edwards-Helaire, and then a 2024 5th round pick. The thing about this, though, Edwards-Helaire has been a long time coming to leave. You're getting rid of him. You lose the 5th round pick, which means your picks are only going to have 4 in the upcoming draft. But DeAndre Hopkins, it's not just a 1-year deal. If you work out the right payment plan, well, guess what? You can have him next year. A lot of his money was in the signing bonus. He's actually on league minimum contract right now. It could work with the Chiefs cap space if you trade Clyde Edwards-Helaire away. I like it a lot. I think it works for the Chiefs. I think it works for the Titans. And overall, if the Titans are on this sell now train or on this type of vibe of like, hey, you know what? I know we are not going to do this year. We should get draft stock. We should trade away now while we have the guys. Well, then this would be a perfect fit for both of these guys. I'll tell you what, though. If you want the Chiefs to get DeAndre Hopkins, well, then like the video. I want you to spam that like button if you want the trade for D-Hop to happen, because I'm telling you what, I want D-Hop. If you want D-Hop, well, then like the video, man. What are you doing? What are you waiting on? Go hit that like button. It's super simple. Click. Takes 2 seconds. And I would really appreciate it. In fact, it would make me the happiest Chat Sports host of all time. You know what also makes me the happiest Chat Sports host of all time? Doing Prize Picks, as I'm telling you what. Prize Picks has been my new addiction. I don't know why I waited so long to get in on this, as the best part about it, if you go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and then use code CLNS, you're going to get a first deposit match of up to $100, just like I did. And it's the simplest way to play daily fantasy sports. Now, how does it work? Well, you just pick 2 to 6 players, and if they'll go more or less than their Prize Picks projections, you can win up to 25 times your money on any entry. 25 times. And here's what I'm putting in for this Sunday game against the Denver Broncos. I'm going more, and oh my gosh, I have broken the bro code. I'm going less on Patrick Mahomes. Yes, I know, but I have a reason before it. Pacheco, at the Broncos, I think he's going to get more than 70. It's time for a comeback game for Pop. Kelsey's going to score a touchdown in every single game he plays in. I'm going with the more on the receiving touchdowns. Mahomes, less. Jace, what are you doing? He's going to get 300 yards. Yeah. The team will. Mahomes won't. He'll get pulled because the Chiefs will be up by that much. I'm in my picks in less than 60 seconds with Prize Picks. Again, super easy. You pick 2 players, go more or less on their Prize Picks projections, just like I did. Then you choose flex or power play, and then you can win 25 times your money or 5 times your money, depending on what you do. You can go 2 to 6 players there in your more or less. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. Shout out Prize Picks. It's daily fantasy sports made easy. Let's go back and do some potential trades that you want the Chiefs to make. Let's go with this one. I am the Divorce01 says Panthers, 2024 6th round pick, 2025 3rd round pick, Chiefs, Adam Thielen. Thielen is one we have not talked about thus far on the Chiefs Report, and I'm glad you brought him up because I think it's time we start talking about Mr. Thielen, who is having a really good year in Carolina. Previous couple seasons were in Minnesota, and I'm not going to say they were down years, but compared to what he had been putting up previous times, well, 700 yards, not exactly what you expect. Now this year, not even a third of the way through the season, and guess what? 509 yards. Now, if you look back at 2021, well, only 13 games, and he had 726 yards. He's kind of on a similar pace there to this year with 6 games, 509 yards. Thielen has been great this year, and ultimately, I think he could fit well with this Kansas City Chiefs squad. The only problem is the way he has been playing this year makes him probably a little more expensive. Now, here's the thing. I think a 3rd round pick and a 5th round pick is still acceptable. I think that would still be accepted for the simple fact that the Panthers are not exactly in a great spot right now. They don't have a lot of picks. Bryce Young, whether you like him, whether you're not, he hasn't been what they expected, especially when they look over to Houston and see how well C.J. Stroud is performing with potentially less of an athletic wide receiver core there. I mean, that's one to be debated about, but Bryce Young just hasn't really done all that much. So I think this could actually work. But do you think you would accept this trade? Well, then let me know in the comment section of today's video. Type Y for yes or type in for no. Would you accept this trade? Type Y for yes or type in for no. Thielen to the Chiefs for a 5th and a 3rd round pick. DJ, you were one of the ones that kind of inspired this video, and well, I asked you to put this in there because I think it's a good one. Justin Watson and a 2nd round draft pick for either Mike Evans or Marquise Brown. Now, I love this trade, but honestly, this is almost too steep of a price. A 2nd round pick and Justin Watson is kind of a lot for Mike Evans or Marquise Brown for, honestly, they're just not on good teams this year. So, like, you don't need to give up that much for really getting them in return. Marquise Brown's the one I want to look at here because we've kind of already gone through the whole Mike Evans thing. Receptions, 32. Yards are a little lower. Average is nice there. Touchdowns, that's not bad. But again, the speed with him is really otherworldly. In fact, I would argue he's maybe the fastest guy in the league at this moment. His 40 time, I know you may not believe it, it's actually faster than Tyreek Hill, which is why it leads me to say I honestly like Brown more than Evans for the simple statement. You have Tyreek, he performed well. You have Marquise Brown, what's to say he won't perform the exact same well? Now, I'm not comparing Marquise Brown. I'm not saying he's Tyreek Hill, but the speed factor is there. 4.27 40-yard dash for Marquise Brown, 4.29 for Tyreek Hill. Well, maybe that could work. I'm telling you what, Brown, he would be a good fit. He would be an awesome fit. I tell you what, though, if the Chiefs make a move, if they don't make a move, we're going to have you covered, so make sure you hit that subscribe button today, as no matter what Brett Veach does, we're going to have you covered, and hit that little notification bar as well, little bell. It's going to tell you when we post a video, so you're always on top of the Chiefs content, Chiefs updates, and anything the Chiefs do. Next question here, or rather trade proposal, comes from Colvin Howard. Chiefs get Michael Pittman. Colts get Montreal Washington, a 3rd round pick, a 6th round pick. Chiefs get a wide receiver. Colts get a number 1 kick/punt returner. I like it, but here's the thing I maybe want to look at more. Free agency is coming for Michael Pittman. And I think at this point in the year, you maybe need to start looking at, okay, if we're not going to make a trade, do we draft a wide receiver? And if we're not drafting a wide receiver, we need to trade for someone who we can sign next year. Well, would Pittman be a guy you want to sign? I think that's the thing that Brett Veach has to look at. But in terms of trade value, I don't think Washington will be enough for this. As is Montreal a good kick and punt returner? Yes, not taking it away from him. But a 3rd round pick on top of that is just not enough with the 6th round to make that trade work. Now, do I like Michael Pittman? Yes. But does that trade work in terms of money, value? Would the Colts keep it? Especially since they have Anthony Richardson next year, and they're probably going to try and sign Michael Pittman? Well, we'll find out. I will ask you this, though. We've gone through a multitude of wide receiver trades. I'm going to take out Marquise Brown because we've talked about him a lot, but let's talk about these 4 guys, and I want you to let me know who the best trade option is between these 4. Is it Mike Evans? Well, then type ME. If you think it's Adam Thielen, then type AT. DeAndre Hopkins is your choice. Well, then type DH. Michael Pittman Jr., type MP. Let me know in the comments of today's video. But I appreciate everybody sending in their trade proposals. It was really a nice way to kind of involve you and understand where the Chiefs fans are at right now. What do you want to see this Chiefs teams make? That's ultimately what we're all about. We're trying to put content out for you. And we appreciate you watching. So if you appreciate us, well then make sure you subscribe. YouTube.com/ChiefsTV. We'd really appreciate it. But for now, that does it. Peace out. All right, pick a best trade option. What's going on here, Chiefs Kingdom? Pick a best trade option. AT from Chiefs Ford LV. Mike Evans from 4K33PS. Michael Waite saying DeAndre Hopkins. Carl Bailey, MP. Kevin Sims agreeing with his wife, saying Mike Evans. Carl Bailey, Michael Pittman. Go Noodle Rock. Who's LA? Did you mean AT? Tony Fuentes saying DeAndre Hopkins. Go Noodle Rock saying DJ. DJ Moore? Go to DH. DeAndre Hopkins. Go, there you go, Go Noodle. It was coming. What up, all, Tom? What's up, Tom? It says Mike Evans. There's the retracted message. Sam, who would you want as a proud Chiefs fan?
I think if you're looking at this list, knowing the fact that Mike Evans, Michael Pittman, both on the last year of the deal, is going to be free agents. DeAndre Hopkins He's nice as a short-term option, but man, Adam Thielen just strikes me now as a very quarterback-friendly receiver with the way he's played so far. And that's a little bit of what the Chiefs need. I don't even necessarily think they need a top-tier wide receiver one who can make all the plays, but a quarterback-friendly guy who can find soft spots in zones, knows how to build connection with a quarterback. He's done it with several of them now. Ultimately, I think that would be a perfect fit alongside Travis Kelce in the offense. I think Michael Pittman would probably be a close second. I think the concerns maybe with Mike Evans and his age are good, but he's also had 1,000 yards in every season as a pro, and he's on pace for it again.
Interesting. You didn't even talk about DeAndre Hopkins in there. That's surprising.
I mean,
I will say, I think he's been really limited by Tannehill this year. Excuse me.
I think that's probably true to an extent.
Because he wasn't amazing with Arizona, but he was good. And this year he just has looked terrible because his quarterback is Ryan Tannehill.
I think he's the oldest of this list, or him and Mike Evans are the same age. Yeah. If anything, those were the guys I had in 3 at 4.
Sure.
I'm curious how old Adam Thielen is now that I mention it.
I think he's 29. Don't count me on that. He's right around 30. He's not that much younger.
32 or 33.
Oh, so he's older.
He's a little older than both of them. Man, I almost feel like I'm eating crow right now because it feels like he's had a better season because the offense has been worse in Carolina than it has in Tampa Bay.
Huh.
That was a little bit of a mind game. A little bit of a mind game we played with each other there, but I think I'd have to go with Adam Thielen.
I agree. I think he works well with Patrick Mahomes. Kind of what you mentioned. He's a quarterback's wide receiver. He's going to help He's going to help Patrick Mahomes out more than anything else. So
I almost wonder if there could also just wind up being some sort of bidding war for DeAndre Hopkins here with the Titans fire sale coming. Because I do think that DeAndre Hopkins is a better wide receiver, but we're talking about what the best trade option is, and price matters there for that.
Well, Hopkins, though, is on league minimum.
Which is exactly more the reason that, I think there's a little bit more value behind it. They know they're only going to be paying a couple mil for him for 6 months, not even 4 months of football.
So it's going to be everybody who wants him. I don't know. That's a lot to talk about, though. How much did Thielen sign for with Carolina? Let's pull that off, because it wasn't that much for him, and I want to say he was similar to Hopkins in terms of he had a lot in his signing bonus.
It was a 3-year, $25 million contract.
It's not that much. And you get him for 2 extra years.
3-year, $25 million contract with $14 million guaranteed at signing. So about $11 million over the next
2 years.
Over the next
3
2 years, yeah. Something like that.
That could work. You'd have to give up CEH. But in every single one of these trades, you're going to need to free up cap space, and CEH is the easiest one. I don't know why makes no sense why he's still there. But either way, we appreciate y'all sticking around with us, and we're about ready for this mailbag time. I know a lot of you have been putting in hashtag Chiefs, or got a couple super chats. If you want to get on today's show, well, then there you go. Hashtag Chiefs in the chat. We got Sam to put you on screen, get your little photo. And just as like always, we have 2 super chats, so y'all are going to be the first one, as it'll be JJ and Carl along with Lennon.
I was going to say, Lennon's
2,
third.
3, yeah. My bad, Lennon. Can't believe I forgot how you put my face on there. Lennon, JJ, and Carl will all be on our mailbag show. If you want to be on it, use hashtag Chiefs. Or if you want to guarantee yourself a spot on today's show, well then, easy way to do it, super chat, just like Carl, JJ, and Lennon did.
Right now, I see, 6 or 7 questions, which means you got a pretty good shot at getting in the quay, so to speak, for today's mailbag.
I thought we were going to go a show without it.
Were you actually thinking that? Because I thought I was going to spare you, and then it just kind of came out. That wasn't even on purpose by me there.
Yeah, I kind of thought we were going to get through this show without you saying quay.
Well, we didn't. So get in the quay, use hashtag Chiefs. Don't misspell Chiefs either, because otherwise that won't work.
Don't mispronounce Q, or that won't work. Either way, use hashtag Chiefs, and we're going to get you on the show. We appreciate you, but we're ready to go here. You can keep putting them in while we're doing this show, as luckily with Sam, he can put you up even if you do it while we're already in the cut. But we appreciate everybody watching. Let's go into this last segment of today's live show as we go into our mailbag. Chiefs Kingdom, welcome into our Saturday mailbag. We appreciate you watching. We're going to answer some questions that we got from Chiefs Kingdom on our live show this past Tuesday. We appreciate you watching, and let's get right into it as I'm Jay Andrews. You're watching the Chiefs Report. The first question comes from Carl Bailey, who sent in a $5 super chat during our live show. Thank you, Carl. You're an absolute G. He said, trade Rashid Shaheed and Taysom Hill. Give up a third-round pick, also CEH and Noah Gray. Chiefs! Wow, I like that man right there. Chiefs is the best part. So here's the thing about the trade. Rashid Shaheed has been great this year. Taysom Hill, I don't really think that it's worth it to go after him just because would he fit in that tight end goal? Yeah, he would. But would it be worth it? Not necessarily. I do like, though, you're getting rid of contracts in terms of CEH, in terms of Noah Gray, because you need to shed a little bit off of that cap space. And CEH, well, he takes up a lot. But Rashid Shaheed, over 300 yards, couple of touchdowns. I think he looks pretty good. I wouldn't mind that trade. Third rounder, CEH for Shaheed. Just forget Taysom Hill. Be nice. Next one comes in with another super chat from JJ Hackett. Appreciate you, JJ. He said, sign Frank Clark so he can get his revenge. Yes, it's time, because guess what? If he doesn't sign this week, well, he's not going to play the Broncos. He's not going to be able to get his revenge game. I'm telling you what, he deserves it. He has been a Chief for a long time, played really well with the Chiefs. I'd like to get him a chance to go out here and try and go back on now his former team, the Denver Broncos. Stats are good. We know playoff time comes, he becomes an absolute menace, and blood is in the water with the Shark in playoff time. But I would love to see him sign before the Chiefs play the Broncos. It'd be nice to see as, again, you have him in the backfield. Just get him signed. What are we waiting on? Sign him up. Another super chat here question from Lennon Chase Ackerman. Love the Photoshop, Lennon. Chiefs get a backup QB like Caleb Williams, question mark? Well, I tell you what, Caleb Williams has played like a backup QB the past couple of weeks. I wouldn't mind that. Caleb Williams drops to the Chiefs' hands. The league would be screwed. Screwed. Do I think that will happen, though? Not a chance. He'll go first, really, no matter what. I don't know. I will say, Blaine Gabbert does not need to be the backup quarterback for much longer. I don't really like what I've seen from him in the few times we've had to put him out there. Shout out to Lennon, though. We appreciate you, and nice profile photo. We have Tony Fuentes, a staple here on the Chiefs Report, coming in with a question saying, #Chiefs. I'm up for Mike Evans and Frank Clark, but looks like there's a catch. Do we have cap space for it? For Frank Clark, probably, because you can cut somebody and work around that. Mike Evans, that's where things get tricky. Being he is older, I don't see that trade happening. So, yeah, I think that's the catch that you're going to have to figure out. And Brett Veach is a guy, he knows how to work money, so there's a potential that he could go in and maybe work something out with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers where they take on a portion of the contract. Let's go to another question here on our mailbag from King Pat 15. Will Mecole Hardman get more opportunities as the season goes on? I think he will. Now, again, we didn't see much from him this past Saturday, but I know he played a lot with the Chiefs. But you still got to come back and get used to your surroundings. I mean, he showed up on Thursday, for goodness sake, from New York. You're not just going to show up Thursday and be able to play on Sunday. 3 targets, 1 reception, 6 yards, but that doesn't tell the whole story because guess what? Well, he had one of the biggest plays of the entire game with that 50-yard punt return that set up the Chiefs' score to make it 31-17. That really was the backbreaker for the Chargers. And honestly, maybe not, that sealed the door. That sealed the door pretty much all the way. So I'd like to see him get more looks, and I think he will overall. You just got to give him time to kind of get readjusted with Andy Reid in this offense. Do you want to see more of Mecole Hardman? Well, let me know. I'm going to make this the pinned question on today's show. Type Y for yes. Type N for no. Let me know what you are thinking. Is it time for Hardman to get some more looks? Well, we're going to find out here in the upcoming games, possibly really soon with the Broncos. Curran Slayer with this question saying, who is /R number 1 wide receiver with Mecole Hardman back? Still nobody. I don't think there has been one. The closest guy to that has been Rashee Rice. Now, is he a prototypical wide receiver 1? No, but I don't think Mecole Hardman necessarily changes that. I think it's still going to be Rashee. We could see some changes. Maybe Mecole slides into a little bit more of a target available opportunity. but I don't know if that's necessarily a thing that you want. I like Hardman as more of a guy to kind of come in and be a change of pace, so to say. Let's get another question rolling in here from Chiefs for LV. Hashtag Chiefs. Is Treylon Burks probably available? I think he is, but he's also been injured this year. I don't necessarily want to trade for a guy who has been injured in this current year, because if you trade for him and then he gets injured, it didn't really work. He's also really young. He's on the second year of that rookie contract, so I think the Titans are probably less willing to give him up than they were maybe DeAndre Hopkins or, even Westbrook-Akine. They could also give up him more often. I don't think Treylon Burks is the one that you're going to go after for just a lot of reasons in ways that I don't think it would work, both contract-wise and Titans giving up-wise. You know what does work, though? Prize Picks. Prize Picks always works, and it's the easiest way to play daily fantasy sports. In fact, it's the only way that I play DFS, as all I do, I go in, I pick 2 or more players, and then I pick more or less on their Prize Picks projections. I can place my entries in literally less than 60 seconds. Plus, with Prize Picks now offering Apple Pay, I got my deposit in my account really, really quickly. Plus, for Chiefs Report watchers, if you go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS, you're going to get a first deposit match of up to $100. Now, how to play, you ask? Well, you pick 2 to 6 players. You pick more or less on their Prize Picks projection, and then you pick flex or power play. What is flex? What is power play? Flex means that you're still going to get your money even if you don't get all of your entries right. Power play means you're putting a lot of money at stake, and if you get them all right, you're going to get a potential of up to 25 times your entry amount. Now, I say all these things because, well, I play Prize Picks, and I want to show you what my picks are for this Chiefs game on Sunday. I got Pacheco going with the more on 68.5 rushing yards. No way he doesn't get 70 against the Broncos' subpar defense. Travis Kelce scores a touchdown every time he touches the ball, so I'm going to give a receiving touchdown to him going more there. And then, what? What is that, Jace? Why'd you pick less? I know, I'm a more guy. I'm always going more, but I think that Mahomes is just not going to play the entire game. The Chiefs were lackluster against the Broncos, but you're playing in Mile High. The ball is going to be so much easier to throw, and it's going to be a little harder to breathe. So let's take Patrick Mahomes out in the fourth after the Chiefs already have 4 touchdowns, and they're already up by a lot. I would like that a lot. Go to prizepicks.com/CLNS and use code CLNS for a first deposit match of up to $100. Shout out Prize Picks. It's daily fantasy sports made easy. Let's get some more questions here as Tony Fuentes with another one saying, I've been waiting for the Chiefs to sign D-Hop for a while now, but then again, I don't think we need him. It's more than likely we need Mike Evans. Hope in the offseason we get DeAndre Hopkins. So Hopkins is not going to be signable this upcoming offseason. He has signed a 2-year contract with the Titans. So if you want him, you're going to have to trade for him. I don't think we need Mike Evans, though. I think, honestly, you don't really need anybody because the Chiefs have proven this last year. You can make it work. I would argue Kadarius Toney, the trade last year, is similar to what Mecole Hardman brings this year. I almost think they're a very comparable player, so why not just say, oh, well, we're good there. I would like them to trade for a wide receiver 1, but is it necessary? I don't think exactly so. We got Lennon Ackerman saying, what is the MVP odds and then Super Bowl favorites looking like? Well, I can tell you this. Sam, you got it.
I'm looking at them right now. The Kansas City Chiefs are still the Super Bowl favorites at plus 450, followed very closely by the 49ers at plus 500, despite their Monday Night Football debacle against the Vikings. And third, the Eagles.
Yeah.
The third are the Eagles at
Gotcha.
plus 600, rounding out the top 5, Cowboys at plus 1,000, and the Miami Dolphins at plus 1,100. I don't have the Super Bowl... Or the MVP right in front of me.
Well, it was Tua for a little bit, but I'm assuming he's down. I think Jalen might have jumped him. It was really close for a while.
All right,
I told you to put some money on Mr. Mahomes, though.
Patrick Mahomes is your favorite, currently at plus 275.
He was like plus 750 like 3 weeks ago.
Jalen Hurts and Tua tied for second right now at plus 450, with Lamar Jackson in fourth at plus 650, and Josh Allen at plus 1,200, rounding out the top 5 there for MVP.
Legendary producer Sam coming in with our MVP and Super Bowl odds. I told you a couple weeks back, you should have put some money on Patrick Mahomes. If you didn't, well, sorry about it, but you should still do it because we know who's winning the MVP this year. It's Patrick Magic. Go Noodle Rock comes in with a question, says, I love you and most of the Chiefs. Well, Go Noodle Rock, I love you too. I appreciate you watching the Chiefs. And I'll tell you what, just like I know Go Noodle Rock is, why don't you hit that sub button? It's free, and I'm telling you what, we need 25 subs to beat the Broncos this Sunday, and I know Chiefs Kingdom has my back. If you haven't subscribed yet, then hit that red subscribe button right now. Make it great. It would make me happy. And make sure you are always on top of Kansas City Chiefs content. So, it's super simple. It's super easy. If you're on your TV, pop up, hit that red subscribe button. If you're on your phone, I know you're watching it this way, flip it this way, and then you can press that little red subscribe button. And if you're on computer, just scroll down and press that big red subscribe button, and boom, you are subscribed. We really appreciate it if you are subscribed already, and if you're not, well, what are you doing? Join the Chiefs Report family right now. It's free, and it's a good time here. Another question rolls in from Tony Fuentes saying, I have a feeling if Rashee Rice continues to do so good, I'm confident that there's no doubt he will be our wide receiver 1. I agree, Tony. Honestly, he probably already is the wide receiver 1. Now, his stats don't look like wide receiver 1. I don't want that to be my wide receiver 1 stats, but I think you're right. He keeps progressing. He keeps doing well. He could be the potential wide receiver 1 of this team in the future, but I still think there is time for him to build up on that. Still a rookie, second-round pick out of SMU. Who knows what he could be? Who knows what he could be? Next question from Yo! #Chiefs. Looking ahead, how confident are you with the Dolphins in Germany? I think I'm pretty confident, to be quite honest with you. I was probably not so much looking at this in terms of confidence level last week, or even a couple weeks ago. But after the Bills really crushed them, and the Bills lost to the Patriots last week, and then the Eagles, I know that it was a close game to the Eagles, but at the same time, they don't get that pick 6. That's a totally different game. The Chiefs' defense has been amazing, and I'm telling you what, we have fun at our watch parties, and the Chiefs are going to have fun on the field, and they're going to take down the Dolphins in 2 weeks, which leads me to my next point. Make sure you're joining us for watch parties all year long. We're going to have one this Sunday for the Denver Broncos, and I know it's an early game, early wake-up call, but we're going to be there for the Chiefs versus Dolphins at 8:30 a.m. in 2 weeks in Germany. So make sure you join us for watch parties all year long, as I really appreciate you watching, and hit that subscribe button if you are not subscribed already. Peace out. Do you want to see more Mecole Hardman chat? Let me know. Let me know.
I think the answer has to be yes, right?
Yeah, I think you got to see what you have with him.
It has to be yes. I think you kind of know what you have with them, but at the same time, you don't know if it's a weird thing to say. You don't know if what you have in him is better than what you have in other people.
Correct.
And by other people, in this case, you're talking about guys like Sky Moore. And
yeah,
we were talking about Justyn Ross. We were talking about Justin Watson as well before his elbow injury. I think the answer has to be yes.
Yeah, you have to. It's just weird. In some ways, it's great the Chiefs have 7 wide receivers. In some ways, it's bad. Because, you don't get to see everybody equally. And it also kind of goes with Patrick Mahomes. I mean, not that he's bad by any means, but, he likes to distribute the ball. And so, you don't really see how good is this person or how good that person is. It's how good is the collective group.
And that's what worked. That's what worked for them last year when they went to the Super Bowl. They didn't necessarily, Juju led the team in yards, but would anyone who's seen Juju Smith-Schuster this year tell you that he's a number 1 wide receiver? No. He's a good wide receiver who was tasked with being the top receiver for the Chiefs offense. But at the end, as long as the Chiefs offense plays well, they don't care who. It's a share the wealth. They don't care.
I think that was my favorite report of the offseason, though, when it was Juju Smith-Schuster. His knees are likely to explode this season. What does that even mean?
That inspires confidence.
What? What do you mean his knees are about to explode? Goodness. Ugh. Anyway. Well, we appreciate you watching today's live show. If you've been in the chat all day, we appreciate it.
I can't tell if Boomer Miller is being serious or not because he said hashtag Chiefs. Can we trade Sky Moore and Tony for Juju?
I don't know. Boomer, absolutely not.
That answers that, I guess.
I guess there you go, Miles.
Shout out to Boomer, though.
Yeah, I mean, see, that'd be funny if the Chiefs somehow find a way to, like, get Juju back, and all of a sudden it's like, we're getting the band back together. We have Frank Clark and Juju and Mecole. We lost all those guys. We appreciate you watching, though, Boomer. That's funny. We appreciate you. But yeah, that does it for us. Again, make sure you're subscribed if you're not. You're watching our shows. Hit that little red subscribe button and invite your friends to come watch our live shows. We have a good time. We actually had over 100 viewers a couple times this stream.
Maximo, I just saw your comment. We weren't able to pull it up on screen because you didn't use hashtag Chiefs. That was like the whole thing that we said with the mailbag. That's how it works on our system. But he said, let's go up. I had it pulled up. Any thoughts on the more playtime for LB23 DT? Oh, he's talking about
Drue Tranquill. I like him. I think he can be a really, really good one. I think, again, he's already been in a spot where he's had to fill in for Nick Bolton. So it's not really a big change. It's go out there and do your stuff. He was really good with the Chargers last year, and they didn't want to sign him. So the Chiefs said, haha, we'll take him from you. And now the Chargers suck, and Drue Tranquill's going to get a ring. So good for DT, and I'm telling you what, he's in a good place, and he's going to be good.
Miles said Mike Evans looks perfect for this Chiefs offense. I hope you've been watching all show, Miles. That's it's been a common theme today. Yes, we would be down for Mike Evans in Kansas City.
That would be pretty awesome. That's been a theme for the entire season. He was the first trade topic we talked about literally after game 1. So, geez. Yep, we'll see what we have to do. I mean, next time we are live, the trade deadline will be happening. I mean, it will be literally right now, basically. I mean, what is it, 5 p.m. Eastern, right? So 4 p.m. Eastern. So there you go. So we'll go live literally as the trade deadline hits. That's going to be a fun time. Tell you what, we are going to be live then. We appreciate you watching today, and we'll be back. Oh, gosh. I can't see it, though. It's just, oh, my gosh. I see, Len. I like that one. I'm athletic. You think I can do that? I can do it. Whoo! I got the legs up there. You can kind of see it. I'm Patrick Mahomes. All right, we appreciate you watching. As always, make sure you subscribe. Hit that like button you haven't. We almost got to 100 likes today. I really appreciate it. Appreciate everybody on the stream. Appreciate everybody who super chatted. Carl Bailey, JJ Hackett, and Lennon Ackerman. We appreciate you all. As always, we're gonna say peace out for now. As producer Sam, he's gotta go. Peace out.
You always say it's on me for some reason. It's just the show's over.
See, he just said it's over. Come on, Sam. All right, peace out.